Sorry. Yeah, I don't know how they got my details, my private and confidential details. But
so did you not ever talk to your probation officer and ask him why you had to work for this people?
Look, I had people here saying they have court orders, yeah?
Pardon?
I have them saying they have a court order, and they didn't have any court order, so I was being bullied and harassed, so I had to come...
Wait. Right, you have to be careful with what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Because the circumstances are that if you were given a community service or something, you would have had some documentation. So did you have a documentation stating that you had to do community service?
I'm recording this call. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
We're recording it as well.
Great. There's two questions you said there, yeah?
Uh-huh.
You said if and you said would have.
So I said if you had a court order for community service work, yes.
Yeah.
Did you have anything in writing to clarify that you would have to do community service?
I had things in writing, but I never had a court order, and I have it in writing from them that they don't have a court order.
Did you go to court for anything?
Look, I don't know, because I understand people are hiring the courtrooms and doing private business, but I have it in black and white from them that they don't have a court order, but was threatened, bullied, harassed, and it was easier.
Wait a minute, all right, but the thing is that you're saying all of this, you need to be, all right, one, okay, if you would have had to go to court for
if
something
and would
or
have,
another.
you keep saying if and would have, why don't we look at the facts?
No, but I don't know what the facts is.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay.
Have you gone to court?
Whether I go to court or not, I want to know if there's a court order.
Why would...
I have a letter from... I have a letter...
I don't understand why you're shouting. I'm not shouting
because
at you.
I'm used to it. Everyone wants to harass and bully me, and no one can... Don't talk when I'm talking, please. Yeah, I pay my money and I want a service.
Yes, and I'm trying to give you that service.
No, you're not trying to give me. You're doing if and would have. That's all I'm getting from you.
Right. I'm an employment lawyer.
Fine.
Okay. All right. If you're saying that you had a court order and you were doing community service and so on and so forth, then I won't be able to help you because I'm an employment lawyer. If you're saying to me that it's a different situation, that you believe that you were doing work there and that you were supposed to be working or something like that, then I can help you. That's why I'm trying to identify whether you had any... I have to say... Did you? Because I don't know what the circumstances are. So I'm asking you whether you had any court orders to say that you had to do community work. Because if it's community work, it's going to be unpaid work. So if you didn't have any documentation to show that you had community service work, that's usually you get that when you go to court and you are sentenced and they say, okay, instead of you going for a custodial sentence or something else, you might get community service. So if you didn't get that, why did you believe that you had to go to these people? Because usually you would have a probationary officer who will tell you and give you documentation as to what you have to do as a part of your community service.
So what you're saying is I would have had a probation officer?
I think that you would have had a probation
Would have. Yeah, I would have and would have.
Right, you're not right. The thing is that I'm trying to help you. I am not a criminal lawyer, okay? So I'm trying to help you the best I can do. So the tone that you're having with me, I don't really deserve that tone because I'm trying to help you. Okay? So what I'm saying to you, did you go to court?
I want you to ask a question. Is there a court order? Did the court issue an order? Because they told me the order is my contract of employment that I have to work without pay, that I'm fully covered by all the employment legislation.
No.
Oh. I see. So what is it if I'm there without pay? If I'm there on employment work without pay, are you saying the health and safety and employment legislation doesn't apply?
No, because I don't know what the circumstances is. That's what I'm trying to identify with you. That's why I'm asking you these questions. I'm not being awkward and I'm not trying to evade
Just get on with it. Just get on. Don't bother with all the caveats. Did I have a court order or not? I can answer the question for you.
I don't know if you had a court order.
Well, ask me.
I don't know. I've asked you. How many times I've asked you?
I don't have a court order, and I have it in writing from them. I don't have a court order, but I was forced through harassment and bullying, and every single paper I signed under duress and under protest that I'm doing this.
Well, then I think that you need to go and talk to probably a criminal lawyer, because I don't know, because I don't know how you got there. How did you get there? How did you get to that place?
I was told by them.
By whom?
And threatened by the gangsters here. That by the MTC Nova staff, yeah? That they have would you let me speak for 1 second,
I am letting you speak.
Okay.
That's why I said okay.
So they dragged me there and threatening me that I'm going to go to prison if I don't comply with the court order, which they never had. There is no court order against me. So they then, after some point in the middle, I corresponded with them on email, and their solicitor, there's a lady called Samira Al-Hassan. She emailed me back at one point and said, we do not have any order issued by the court. So I have that in black and white. And even after that event, they said to me, if I don't come on their project, blah, blah, I have to do this unpaid work. I asked them, is it covered by the employment legislation? They said, yes. It's unpaid work. It's work in every sense of the word. You have to turn up on time. You have to punch your clock.
If you are saying that under duress and you were forced physically, you were dragged, as you keep on saying,
No, I was threatened with threatening letters and meetings and people locking me in rooms where I can't get out and talking to me.
So therefore you need to go and talk to the police. If that's what was, i.e. you were locked in rooms and so on and so forth.
Could you write me a letter? Could you write me a letter saying...
No, I can't write you a letter.
Can I ask your name? Can I ask your name?
Pardon?
Can I ask your name?
Sharon.
So you're Sharon from the Federation of Small Business Legal Service.
No, I'm from Sharon from Markel Law.
But you're calling me on behalf of my the subscription I pay to the Federation of Small Business.
Yeah.
And you're telling me on the telephone that I should go to the police, but you can't put it in writing.
If you're saying, no, because this is telephone advice, if you're saying that they forcibly imprisoned you, they made you work for that's sort of slavery.
I see.
So therefore,
that's what I thought.
That you might need to go to the police.
So I had to wear slave clothes and all.
Go to the police and see what the police does in that respect, because that is modern day slavery. Because if they keeping you against your will and making you work for no financial gain, then that's a form of slavery.
Okay, and they told me in black and white, the lady I would quote you the email, she said, because I tell you how it started. First, somebody said I was trespassing in my house where I'm the owner. Yeah? And that I was evicted. Now I have a letter from the county court manager after it went all the way to the Secretary of State. She said there is no judgment against me. And then they said I have a conviction for trespass. So I can't be a trespasser if I'm the owner and I've never been evicted. Then I said, where is the conviction? Where is the order for the conviction? Then they put in writing in black and white, we do not have any sealed order if that's what you're looking for. And I have it from the solicitor for the firm. Then I asked for their indemnity insurance. They told me it was Zurich, but they would not supply the policy number or which address. Zurich has addresses all over the planet. I don't know which office to go to. Then I employed a company to write to them on my behalf. He wrote 2 or 3 letters. He asked for an indemnity incident report and a copy of the any contract and a copy of any court order. They replied to the email. They didn't supply any of the information. So I went to the health and safety executive, and they're supposed to be. They told me they've written several letters. They haven't had any reply as yet. So. At the time of the alleged eviction, there's a gentleman called Manoj Gondhia, David Wood, and another one called Kenneth Warby, they chucked me out of my house and stole my goods. My goods include my business goods. So I reported to the Federation of Small Business Legal Department at the time because my business goods was all gone. I'm an accountant and I got all the files, 2,000 client files, all sorts of things, data. And I have a letter from the county court now saying there was never any judgment against me. I don't know what more I'm expected to do here.
Okay, I would then go and probably talk to the police about it, because it sounds as though somebody's fraudulently telling you certain things and making you work and so on and so forth, and it doesn't seem as though they've got your information and so on. You need to tell the police and see what the police can do about it. Because when you're coming to me as an employment lawyer and you're saying to me, okay, you were working and you weren't paid and so on, and then you put all of this seems as though they fraudulently done something to you to get you to work under your duress. I can't deal with that as per se. If, for example, you went to work and you were supposed to be working and you knew that you were going to be working for a wage and then they weren't paying you, and then that's where you're going with it, they weren't paying you, but that's what you were supposed to be doing as an employee for a wage, then I can help you because I can advise you as to what you need to do in that respect. But you're not saying that, you're saying something else, that you were forced to do work for no money and things like that.
Yeah, and
your will.
I ended